Hey guys, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We are in Denerim. In the last episode, we took some work from the Antivan Crows, hoping that it will keep them from trying to kill us. Now we're going to head back to... We have quests we could do here in Denerim, but I still want to level up a little bit more before I do all this, because I want to make sure I can unlock everything that needs to be unlocked. So... we're going to head back to camp, we're going to talk to Zevran a little bit, and then we're going to go to Redcliffe and see what's going on there with Arl Eamon. And at some point during all this, I will level up Alistair. So anyway, I'll see you back at camp.
I don't understand. You look like a woman.
I love coming back to camp and being greeted by Sten and his questioning. Well, are you flirting with me, Sten?
Flirting? I don't know this word. Speak the common tongue. You are a Grey Warden, so it follows that you can't be a woman.
Why not?
Women are priests, artisans, shopkeepers, or farmers. They don't fight.
Well, that's not a universal truth. Some women fight.
Why would women ever wish to be men? That makes no sense.
Well, they don't wish to be men. They wish to be women who fight.
Do they also wish to live on the moon? That's as attainable.
I'm a woman, and I'm fighting.
One of those things can't be true. A person is born, Gunari or human or elven or dwarf. He doesn't choose that. The size of his hands, whether he is clever or foolish, the land he comes from, the color of his hair, these are beyond his control. We do not choose, we simply are.
But a person can choose what to do.
Can they? We'll see.
Okay, I've lost approval with, like, everybody today. Not cool. And I think I have some gifts for Zevran. Let me have a look here. And I also want to read his codex entry. Oh, I forgot I had that tome. Yes, Zevran likes gold bars, things like that. So we're gonna give him
I shall
that.
treasure it. Thank you.
Yeah. What if he'll take that shiny gold ring? No, I'll keep that. Also, let me use this on myself. There we go. And now I have a level up. Do I? Yes, I do. Combat stealth. The rogue is stealthy enough to try sneaking during combat. Huh. I really need to start putting some into my dual weapon stuff. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Alright, now let's talk to Zevran.
Here I am.
Hello. Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Well, why did you want to leave the Crows exactly?
Well, now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
So, you're simply bored?
I don't know that I would put it precisely that way. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
That sounds awful.
Oh, I don't know about that. The Crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a Crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
So, what is it you fancy exactly?
I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
Not at all.
This is good to know. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Well, won't the crows eventually find you?
Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Ah. One more time, Zev. What's this personal?
Oh, this should be good. What would you like to discuss?
Never mind. Care to answer some questions?
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Okay. So, tell me a little about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
You don't like Ferelden?
It is fine enough with its dogs and its mud. The people are spirited, even if they can't tell the difference between an assassin and a mere killer. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
Well, I was born in Highever in the north.
Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Is that some kind of euphemism?
It may as well be, but not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
You sound like you've been away from home forever.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
The job being killing me, right?
Yes, and now here I am.
Here you are.
One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a beautiful Grey Warden, a woman who then spares my life? I could not.
Beautiful, is it?
I say you are beautiful because it is true. Should I not?
No, by all means.
And glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Okay. Liliana, can we chat?
Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Let's see. I heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
Who cares? Is it true or not?
Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards.
I thought minstrels were bards.
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Ah, do they spy on Ferelden?
Some do. Mostly it is nobles spying on other nobles. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
So, that's where you learned to fight like that.
My skills served me well, but the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry, and when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Codex updated. Did we read this? Yes. There's more to Liliana than had even been apparent at Lothering, however. She spent much of her life as a bard in Orlais, a minstrel, assassin, and spy employed by the nobles of Valroyo in their elaborate games of intrigue. Liliana takes care to honor the Lothering cloister that took her in and keep symbols of... Yeah, we read all that. Okay. Where's Zevran? Zevran Aranai. The Crows send their regards. Between the Tevinter Imperium, Ravane, and the Free Marches sits the nation of Antiva. Although it possesses few resources of its own, Antiva's location makes it a center for trade in the north, and the capital, Antiva City, is the wealthiest in the world. Antiva has virtually no army. The monarchy is too weak to support one. Most Antivans would be hard-pressed to even name the current king, as the true power lies in the hands of a dozen merchant princes, each with a personal army, and each locked in a constant struggle for power against the others. Where'd it go? Oh, anyone would think then that Antiva would be a ripe target for invasion by one of her neighbors, but even the Kunari leave Antiva alone for one very good reason: the House of Crows. The most efficient, most feared, and most expensive guild of assassins in the world calls Antiva their home, and their reputation alone defends its borders. Zevran was the crow contracted by Loghain to assassinate Alistair and Eva. One failed attempt later, however, he found himself at the mercy of his would-be victims. They showed him unexpected mercy, and in return he swore to aid the Wardens on their quest to end the Blight. Win. We'll read win later. Okay. So, one more chat, and it's going to be with... Well, let's see. Let's try Zevran one more time. Care to answer some questions?
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Of course you do. Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
No. You're probably right.
I often find myself the instrument of fate, ending these lives for one necessity or another. I console myself with the notion that most of them had it coming. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
I don't know. I take no pleasure in killing.
It is not pleasure, per se, nothing sexual. It is more a sense of satisfaction, a feeling of power. Does that make sense? No matter. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules. Oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Handsome elf like you, I can think of a few things.
I mean professionally. Or maybe you mean professionally as well. Perhaps you intend to peddle my services to bored Ferelden noblewomen. It is an interesting thought, but I've always removed my clothes strictly on an amateur basis. A talented amateur, of course, but an amateur nonetheless. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
And now we can... My dog won't shut up. Now we can talk to Alistair for a few... Oh no, back this way. I misclicked.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Let's see. Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
I thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
Pillow fight? You had lots of these pillow fights, I take it?
On confession day, we could go all night. Being a Templar isn't all about chasing men in skirts and hiding behind priests, you know. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I really do want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
What did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
Where would she say is home? I guess her home is with the Grey Wardens and with Alistair. Yeah.
Really? I guess I like the sound of that. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
And what is that? Talking?
At your service.
So, what is this?
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
Never mind.
Fair enough. Off we go then.
I'm not gonna ask him to... yeah.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Let's see. If you were raised in the Chantry, have you never...
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
You know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter?
Now you're making fun of me.
Make fun of you, dear lady. Perish the thought. Well, tell me, have you ever licked a lamppost in winter?
I flicked my share of lampposts and then some. That's not what I meant, and you know it.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about. I admit I've never had a woman just come out and ask me like this, that's for sure. I, myself, never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course. But, you know.
You know. You never had the opportunity?
Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad, is it?
You think I'm beautiful? Okay, Eva is fishing for the compliments tonight, but let's go for it.
Of course you are, and you know it. You're ravishing, resourceful, and all those other things you probably hurt me for not saying.
I'd never hurt you.
Nor I, you. Let us be off then, lest your risque talk make my ears blush.
All right, now let's see here how much people like me. Alistair? Interested? My dog loves me. Sten still likes me better than anybody in camp. Zevran's neutral. Do I have any more gifts I can give away? Those go to Liliana, I think, but I'm not sure. There's a specific conversation that you can have with her about shoes, but we haven't had that yet, so anyway. And then these go to somebody else, but anyway, I'm gonna sell some junk to Bodon, and then we're gonna head to Redcliffe. And once we get there and go, yeah, you know what, that's gonna be a big deal, going to Redcliffe, and it needs to be its own big deal. So I'm gonna end this right here, and when we come back we'll head to Redcliffe. So see you next time, and thanks for watching.